This segment is brought to you in part by the Canadian Historical Arms Society, owners of the Genesee Range, the premier recreational sport and training facility in Western Canada. See us online at historical-arms.com.
The Quiet Professional, a podcast about law enforcement, security, justice, and politics. We are digging deeper on the issues and going where the information takes us with access to experts and authorities. Welcome to The Quiet Professional. Hey everybody, welcome to The Quiet Professional. Today we have a policing story of surviving the unthinkable and leading through adversity. For that, I've got Roberto Ortiz here. Roberto is a former police commander from Chihuahua, Mexico, whose life changed forever in the line of duty. In 2022, while responding to a deadly attack on fellow law enforcement, Roberto suffered a catastrophic injury after being struck and crushed between two vehicles. The incident left him permanently without the use of both legs, a defining moment that became the beginning of a remarkable story of resilience, determination, and purpose. Today, Roberto continues to serve as an intelligence coordinator with the State Attorney General's office, and he's an Under Armour Latin America ambassador and sought-after public speaker. His story is one of surviving life-threatening circumstances, leading through crisis, and rebuilding a meaningful life against extraordinary odds. So welcome, Roberto.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. It's a pleasure to be in your podcast. Thanks for the invite. Well, basically, my name is Roberto Ortiz, and I am a law enforcement commander from the Chihuahua, Mexico City. And I prepared something here. My story did not begin with an attack. As you know, I lose my legs in a high-impact operation that we have. But my story began many years earlier with a dream of calling, and a desire to serve and try to change the situation that we have in Mexico. We don't participate in wars like World War I or II, but we have internal war for many, many years. So that was of my dreams, to try to make some difference, maybe a little one, but make a difference into our system.
Yeah.
As a young boy, I always admire justice. And I believe in the honor of wearing a uniform, because it's a big responsibility to do it, And I learned early in life that the true greatness is found in helping others.
Did you have any family that were law enforcement or anybody that kind of led you in that direction?
No, it was something that I maybe born with or learn in the way of life. But for me, I always try to look and to be like the Army, like the Marines guys, because we, as Mexico, see them with a lot of honor, It's
Okay.
It's something that we want to be part of, but we are in Mexico. So what we could do is to be what they are, but in Mexico.
Yeah. Okay. If I can ask you on that, just knowing from an outsider perspective, it seems like a very dangerous job, more than maybe in Canada or the US, to be law enforcement in Mexico. So did that ever come into your mind when you were applying? Maybe your family tried to talk you out of it or something, but was that a realization for you back when you were first applying?
Yeah, it's very common here in Mexico when you talk to the family and you try to be part of the forces, that they usually don't have a good look of the police here, of because of the story that we have, with all
Hmm.
police officers that make weird things or things that must not be.
Like corruption going on, and
They had corruption going on. So
yeah,
first of all, we don't have a good paycheck.
okay,
Second of that, we don't have a good health insurance.
mm.
So I think that the ones that really want to serve in Mexico is because we love to be police officers.
It's more of a calling.
It's a calling. Is part of. We're tired of what we have in Mexico, of every administration that we have. It's very complicated because when you are in the academy, you think that the things are perfect,
Hmm.
that the things are crystal clear. But
Yeah,
then when you are part of the system, you discover a lot of different things.
yeah. You know what, I'll say that is true. That is consistent everywhere. You start
Yes.
to you spend years in, and you start to see what's going on behind the scenes, and you just learn more of all the systems that you interact with, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, that's correct. And here in Mexico, it's we do what we can do with what we have,
Yeah.
because the resources are very few. Sometimes you need to put part of your money on gas for the
Hmm.
pickups or for the cars to be making the operations. So I think that is totally for love to serve and change the things in Mexico. But
Yeah.
the truth is very different. The practice is totally different, and you have to be. To my group that I command, I always tell them that they have to be trust with the citizens. They need to be a support for them.
Hmm.
But the response that I have for some of them, Nathan, is that sometimes here in Mexico, I think that is different in Canada and in the US because the police officer have a good salary. Maybe no great, but a good salary.
Yeah.
So for me, my thinking is a police officer to be 100% concentrate in their job. They don't have to be thinking in money. If a
Okay.
son is sick or if the bills of the house will be in a week.
Yeah. It's interesting that you bring that up. Uh, yeah, the salary is definitely better, like a base salary, but the say somehow some police officers still find a way to make it a problem. And but that's their own decisions, whereas they're spending um I don't know how you would say it. They're not spending on things they should be, right? Like it's a discretionary income, whereas you're talking, it's for necessity. It's necessity for life. So, yeah, and also with the higher salaries, you see less corruption and willingness to kind of do those kind of things. Whereas if you're not paying people, they're looking for alternate income. So yeah, it creates a whole different realm of issues.
Yeah, here in Mexico, that is very common because they are looking for alternative income due that the salary is really low.
Hmm.
And that make the system dirty.
Yeah.
That practice make the system uh, corruptive.
Hmm.
So it's a very complicated activity to be a police officer.
Well, especially with like you were saying earlier, there's no or the health insurance isn't great or it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
like for yourself, you got pretty serious injury.
Yeah,
Like for people, it's like those could be huge, huge bills. So how do you pay those? So, you know, There's a lot to consider there for sure.
Yeah, I think that is not a good health system here in Mexico. And the police officers, we don't have the opportunity to go to private hospitals.
Okay.
We have public hospitals, and sometimes
Yep.
that is very complicated because in my case, in my case that I lost my legs, I am a bilateral amputee. When that happened, we were about an hour of Ciudad Juarez, and from there, Nathan, they took three hospitals that reject me because I don't have the system that
Yeah.
that they use or the money. They took 6 hours to get me in a emergency room.
Do you want to, maybe we'll get you to back up a little bit
Yeah.
and just kind of start at the beginning of the story too. So, because there's a little bit before that. So you were on like a day off and you heard about an attack on some fellow law enforcement.
Yeah.
Do you want to just kind of set the stage and explain that a little bit for listeners?
Sure. I was on vacation, 3-day vacation, because days before we have a really good high impact operation. How can I say? Close up.
A traffic stop, yeah.
Yeah, we got around maybe one ton, one ton. How can I say the perfect form? Around 2,000 pounds.
Yeah. Well, no, we get 1 ton. It's just funny. You say a good traffic stop is 1 ton. I'm like, man, we get like 1 kilo here and everybody's celebrating. So
Oh no!
that's a really, really good day in law enforcement, 1 ton.
Yeah, it was a 1 ton. It was part of fentanyl, and it was part of crystal meth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it was one of the
Drug bust.
truck busts. Yeah,
Okay.
in Juarez. So we have some days free,
Okay.
and it was a Friday, April 15, 2022. It was in Mexico a big day because it was the Holy Friday.
All right. Yeah.
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 So I was coming from Juarez to Chihuahua with my family, and they called me and they told me that the first commander of Casas Grandes was killed
Mm.
with an immigration officer and his right hand guy, another
Yeah. Okay.
police officer. So when that happens in Mexico, there is not other thing that is more important than support and to give help to a fallen officer. That it was maybe my friend, that was my partner.
Yeah.
And in Spanish, we say el apoyo es sagrado. It means that the support is above anything.
So support is unconditional.
Yeah, it's unconditional. Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so I came back from maybe 90 miles from Juarez back to my house. We prepare, put all the equipment, and get on the road. What we found, Nathan, it was really complicated images because there were born trucks. The basic scene that we found is that they weren't just being shot. They were kidnapped and tortured.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So when you arrive on scene, these bodies are not there. They're gone.
They were there, but with heavy violence.
Yeah.
The bodies of them were with heavy violence.
Okay. Yeah.
So from there, we put some checkpoints based on the intel that we have, the cars, the guys that could do it. We put some checkpoints. And in one of those checkpoints, I was making a routine check in a car, but I was in my back. But something very important is that we weren't on the road. I was on the sideline of the road. I don't know how do you say there in Canada, but you have the road and then you have an space
You're just on like a pull off, or it's like a rest stop or something,
in a
right?
rest stop. Correct.
Okay.
So here the thing that is really impressive is that I was checking in the trunk of a car,
Hmm.
and one car came like maybe 80 miles per hour
Hmm.
without lights. We are like 20 trucks with our lights, with our strobes.
There's lots of police.
Yeah. And the car
Okay.
was without any lights and just crashed into me.
So this is just like a random civilian who wasn't paying attention that hit you, or is it a member of a gang? Or
You know that after that happened, we made some investigation, and the guy lives in a town that is controlled a lot by the criminals. But
okay.
in Mexico, when something like that happens, it's only like traffic accident. It's not a tempo
Wow.
order. It's not no. It's just a traffic accident.
Jeez. I would be immediately looking into who this guy is and why this happened. And it's like, did he have any kind of intention, or was he with the vehicle that was stopped and he's, trying to distract from it or something? Or, you know,
Yeah. What we discovered is that accident, the purpose of it was so we can continue on our road. You know.
Mhm.
So we don't know if he's part of something, but
Okay.
it was part of just stop our normal operation because we have all the information needed
Yeah.
to do the things. So with that, they just stop all what we were doing,
Hmm.
and the guy is free.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy don't serve any month. The guy just he was charged on the traffic accident,
Yeah.
but
Very low, very minor.
yeah, very, very minor. Sometimes here in Mexico, even if you kill a person with a car, but the person was making something wrong,
Hmm.
maybe walking in a red light, it's just the technical word is,
Like a ticket
yeah,
you're going to get.
you get a ticket and maybe you go
Okay.
to the judge
Yeah.
and serve 4 months in a
Okay.
specific things for the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we would call, well, you would call it like a municipal bylaws at the city level, at the provincial level. Then it's a lower level offense. So it's, you could serve like maybe up to 6 months in jail or something, but it's very low. So you're not looking at like a criminal type of investigation.
Yeah. How do you say when somebody hits with their hands another person? What is that?
Like just a rear end collision.
Just a fight between two guys. What is the name of
Oh,
that?
assault.
Assault. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the level of what he do with his car with me. It was like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
he
Okay.
only lost his legs,
Yep. Yeah.
but he don't die. So
So you're looking at this trunk, you're face down, like searching it,
uh-huh.
and this person comes in highway speed
Yep.
and just plows right into you.
Yeah.
Were you the only one injured? Were you the only one standing there?
No, one of the guys of the car that I stopped
Mhm.
was injuring one of his legs too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't present charges. He was very
Mm.
afraid because he was of that town too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy didn't present any charge. I think that he broke his leg, and the guy just disappeared.
Oh, okay.
We never found him again. I don't know what happened, but the guy just disappeared.
The driver or the one who got hit?
The one that got hit by the driver.
Can you walk us through kind of you get hit by this vehicle, you're not expecting it. What kind of comes next, and what are you thinking? Like, are you thinking at all?
You know that when that happens, I feel a big sound in my ears.
Mm.
I don't know if it was 15 seconds, 20 seconds, but my fellow officers have to pull the car back because I was friends, I was crashed. As soon as they take the car, I fall down to the asphalt sidewalk,
Yeah.
And I look to my legs, and as soon as I look, I know that I was going to lose something,
Mm-hmm.
because my legs were basically part of some uh, ligaments and muscles,
Yeah.
but they were totally gone off,
Yeah. Yeah. They're just barely hanging on.
barely hanging up, and the blood was full of it. It
Yeah.
was something that I never looked something like that. I have been helping other officers in woundings that they have, because it's very common in Mexico that when we have operation to a house on a urban environment, the bad guys, the criminals, shoot to us. That is very common. So,
Yeah.
but what happened to me in that moment, it was an unbelievable amount of blood. So they take my vest and all my gear, and one of the guys that he was one of my best friends. He was a paramedic,
Oh, okay.
and start to help me in my legs, put some uh, specific things to help me to stop the blood.
Yep. Yep.
Not like the ones that Canada and US have. I've been in some medical tactical courses, and you have great things, but he put some bandage to me and with
It's just like gauze.
gauze and torniquetes.
Yep.
Oh, is the one.
Yep. Tourniquet.
Tourniquet. Not the specific that I need, but something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And he was a paramedic, and I am saying he was because that's a story that I will tell you later. He was killed in 1 year later.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But his name was Edgar Ramirez.
Edgar Ramirez.
Edgar Ramirez. He was a paramedic, and he was part of the police officers with us. And he took care of my legs in a great way. When he put the tourniquets, the pain that I feel is indescribable. It's something.
Yeah.
I thought that in the way we were 1 hour from the town that we was to Juarez. My first thinking or my first image was that I was going to die of pain.
It was that bad.
Yeah, it was very bad.
Yeah.
That my heart will not tolerate all the pain, and maybe that my brain will be out of blood very soon, because usually that types of accidents or circumstances, the guy die in 20, 30 minutes, and
Yep.
we were an hour of the road from Juarez. So I get the phone and say goodbye to my wife. I try to explain her that I was really damaged, and my friend took me the phone and tell her, "Hey, he's fine. Don't worry. It's only something minor, because he was trying to make the impact that she will hear
Yeah.
minor."
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that I am here, that's the best thing that he could do. Take me the phone, because when you are in that kind, you try to say goodbye because the death
Mm-hmm.
was very close to me.
When you start going, like, are they just picking you up and putting you in a police vehicle and going? Because
Yeah, I was in a pickup, so I was in the part of the back of the pickup in
the box. Yeah.
the box, correct. And they were, I don't know, maybe driving very, very fast. I later talked with them, and they were like 180 kilometers per hour. That is maybe 120 miles per hour for the US.
Yeah.
And when we arrived in Juarez, to the entrance in Juarez, it was an ambulance there waiting for me.
Okay.
The ambulance make what they think that it was necessary, but the pain never goes. The pain was there. Maybe they just put some analgesics or painkillers. I don't know, but the pain was there. It never
You
stopped.
basically, I'm shocked you didn't pass out from that.
Yeah, it's something that right now the doctors that are with high experience in this kind of traumas, they don't understand how I survived. Because
Hmm.
I was like 5 to 6 hours from the accident
Yeah.
to the emergency room where they operate me. So it was a lot of time, and I never lose my conscience. I was
Oh,
ever,
wow.
yeah, I can tell you that I was maybe saying things and looking things that do not exist,
Hmm.
because I was terrible in that moment. But I never lose conscience until I got to the OR. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's similar up here in the sense that like we have trauma centers.
Mhm.
So if you get hurt on like in our city, Edmonton, if you get hurt in kind of the outskirts of it, um, depending what it is, they will just have to drive all the way into the center of the city to one of the trauma centers. Like if you get really messed up, if you're in a collision way out in a rural area, we have an air ambulance, you could call it, like a helicopter that'll come and pick you up. But I mean, there's only one of those flying around at any given time. So yeah, you might just be going in an ambulance and have to drive all the way to the city, all the way into the city. So you're trying to get through traffic and everything. Everyone's slowing you down. Um, who rode with you? Like, did anybody go with you from the truck to the ambulance? Like, did anybody stay with you the whole time?
Yeah. All my team. My team was part of 5 or 6 trucks,
Okay.
pickups, we use pickups here.
Yep.
So there were like 5 or 6, and they tried to open road.
Yeah, we call it team driving. Yeah.
Yeah, it was at 8, 9 p.m. So it was a critical time for the traffic in Ciudad Juarez.
Oh, okay.
Maybe to cross from one point of the city to another is 2 hours.
Wow.
So we arrived to the first hospital that is it's a government hospital named IMSS. YMSS, IMSS, Instituto Mexicano del Seguro Social. That's the name in Spanish. And to be part of that hospital, you don't need to be part of the police. But as you know, before I was police, I was manager, logistics, supply chain manager in other companies. So I have that service, but they put wrong my name, Nathan. And in the
Oh,
system, they don't appear that I was part of that hospital.
yeah.
So they just try to give me some painkillers and reject me from the
Really?
hospital.
Holy
Yeah.
jeez.
From there, they took me to another hospital that is private. But as soon as we get there, they were asking for $20,000 in cash
Wow.
to get me in that hospital. It's one of the best hospitals in Juarez.
Mhm.
It's named Centro Médico de Especialidades. But if you don't have money, they don't get you in the OR.
This is a private hospital then?
It's a private hospital, correct?
Okay. All right.
Here, something that surprised me, Nathan, is that you're a hospital. You know if a person is close to death,
Yeah.
close to more severe trauma, a heart attack, a brain injury. So I think that And a hospital needs to be more human to the requirements of the persons. You
Mhm.
know,
So up here, what we have is like essentially, well, and I've seen this a million times because I've taken people to the hospital. You can go in, you can give them whatever name you want. You don't even have to exist in the system or in any way. And they'll just get you to a state where you're alive and you can leave, like they can send you out on your own. But if you can't, then you end up in a bed in there and they're taking care of you till they figure out who you are and where you're going or, you know. So yeah, it's you outside of like very specific needs. Like I said, we have a trauma center. So if you get shot or you got something major that they need to open you up for, um, most of the hospitals can take care of you. But if you get one of those serious things, the first hospital you land at might be able to do some stuff, but then they're going to throw you in an ambulance and drive you to the trauma center and they'll finish the rest there.
oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
Every hospital that I arrive, they have all the equipment to save my legs.
Yeah.
Maybe my amputation was going to be below the knee,
Mm.
but all the time that it takes to me to get and be accepted in hospital and get to a OR makes my amputation above the knee.
Is that because like tissue damage and
Correct.
everything starts to kind of grow?
Yeah, it was tissue damage, and it was a lot of time of no blood circulating to my
Yeah.
system. That is sometimes the big error that the hospitals that I came before have, because first of all, they are hospital. They need to be ready for something like that.
Mhm.
Not to check in the system if you're part of their system or of their list names. It's a hospital. You are in the border of being alive or die.
Yeah. And even as a police officer, they're just like, no, just like everyone else, just go to the next hospital.
Yeah, that's something that for us is really incredible, because if you are part of the government of Mexico, of part of the government of a city, a Chihuahua, you need uh, to be accepted in any hospital that you arrive. That for me
Mhm.
is something critical. Even if the hospital is, I don't know, is really uh, expensive, you are part of a system. You are part of the government, so it's unbelievable.
And it's not to say like other people shouldn't have that care, but I look at it more as you're out there as part of a certain group, an organization
Uh-huh.
serving a specific purpose that has higher risk, right? You're with the police, especially in Mexico, um, that maybe the government would have these agreements in place ahead of time with the healthcare system and say, we're out there getting shot at. So when we bring a person in, wherever it might be, they're coming to the closest hospital and you need to help them, right? More because it's more likely that this is going to happen to a police officer. So you're putting yourself in greater danger. So you would think ahead of time they would have some agreement in
Hmm.
place.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, and something that after that happens to me, I was trying to make some proposals and ideas to the big bosses.
mm,
Because here in Mexico we have something is the same in Canada and in the States. Sometimes you by yourself buy a package of health insurance.
yeah,
Here it's really expensive to have that one, and more if you're a police officer. Because here in Mexico, if you're a police officer, you don't have prestations to have a home, because the risk is too high. And
mm,
once you die, if you still debt, I don't know, 1 million pesos or $500,000 of your house, that ends with that,
yeah,
and your family get the house. So the laws here are not part of that to happen. They
Yeah, yeah.
protect the interest in that kind of thing. So a police officer is really complicated to have a house, to have an insurance of the risk that we have here every day.
Okay.
So I have a proposal to them to buy, I don't know, maybe 20 or 50 insurance and just be rotated for the people that need it in specific times, It's something
Yeah.
that can be do and you will save lives.
Yeah. Well, you're thinking outside the box
Yeah.
and trying to create something new,
Yeah.
which I mean, all the power to you. I hope it's successful. It sounds like it should, like you need it there. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And my case was in 2022, but from that to now, at least we have been, I don't know, I could tell you that I don't have the exact number, but at least 20 or 30 police
mhm,
officers have been wounded.
yeah,
So the proposal is not crazy. It's just something that must happen in the future. Maybe
yeah.
I just can propose, but there are some people that have the power to make it real.
So can you kind of walk us through once you actually make it to the hospital where you do receive your treatment, what that looks like, and then we'll get into the recovery and
Sure.
how family and everybody has been there to support you.
I was in coma around 7 days, and I was in the hospital around 1 month. Why so many time? Because they don't believe that all my organs were healthy.
So you couldn't leave the hospital because you couldn't essentially survive on your own.
The medics were making so many tests on me because I entered to the OR with 2 liters of blood. That is very, very low. So
Yeah.
they couldn't believe that I don't have any extra damage in my organs,
Mm.
in my kidney, in my lungs, in my brain, in my heart. So they
Yeah.
continue making tests and tests.
Like in case you're leaking from anywhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They were very surprised that my body was working perfectly. I was with no legs anymore, but they couldn't believe that I don't have any collateral damage.
Yeah.
So I was 1 month in the hospital, and from there, hard part begins. Because I was in my life at 100 miles per hour, and suddenly I was at 0 miles.
So it's I would call it like an identity issue, right?
Yeah,
You're out there doing those high operations, there's all the risk, adrenaline,
yeah,
and just zero. It's all cut off.
yeah. It's all cut off, and it's a new life because now I was living without my legs, and just to kind walk, it was for me something really difficult in my mind, because as you know, I was in high impact operations. I was leader of a group. I was head of my home with my kids. And as soon as you see what happened to you have only two options. One is to get on the bed and cry, and the
Mhm.
other to get up. Have faith in you, have faith in God if you believe in God, and have faith in every aspect in your life that is in that moment, because uh, you never thought that you're going to lose something. Maybe you, as a police officer, you know that you can be murdered,
Yeah.
that you are going to an ambush that is the number one murders to police officers in Mexico. They are ambushes.
Really? Wow.
That you never think that you are going to lose an arm or a leg or both legs. So for me, it was I don't have time to cry. I don't give myself time to cry or to be sad and I start working out as soon as I can. I start with therapies mentally and physically.
Can I ask, like, when you first woke up? Actually, I'll come back to this point too, but just a little bit back. When you first wake up from the coma and you realize where you are, the outcome of the situation, you've lost the use of your legs. What's what is that experience like? I mean, just like how would you describe it?
Okay, when I was in coma, I think that I was with a tube in my mouth because I
Yep.
couldn't breathe by myself, and
Okay.
I have like dreams. I thought that I was kidnapped, because I open my eyes, I see people that was with their heads totally
Covered.
covered. Yeah, but they were the medics, they were the doctors that I was in. How do you say after you go out of the OR? I was in intensive,
Yeah.
intensive room,
Intensive care. Okay.
intensive care. So I took 7 days. In day seven, I took out the tube when I woke up.
You did it yourself.
Yeah, I do it by myself. I don't know, but I have the strain. I do it by myself. As soon as
Mm,
I do it, the nurses came and tried to put again the tube, but the medic tell them that it was so full to try to do that because if I took my breath, it's because I was ready to breathe by myself.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when that happens, it was like 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and I don't know where I was. So a nurse came to me and she told me, "You know where you are?" And I look at her and I told her, "I know that you are a nurse, but I think that I am kidnapped." That was maybe it was the adrenaline, the operation that we were doing. But she told me, "No, you were in an accident. Do you remember? Then you are a police officer." Then my mind comes again to me, and I remember all what was happening.
Yeah, man, that's such an interesting way to explain it. The I just imagine you're filled with all kinds of drugs. You've got tubes in you,
Yeah,
and then you had this massive amount of trauma happen to you, both physically and mentally. And then when you wake up, I mean, it's going to be kind of just like a confusion of all of it, and it's all mixed. And it's like, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel. So yeah, no, I totally can I can see what you're saying there. Obviously, I've never experienced it, so I can't understand that. But it's it's just an amazing way to kind of explain that. And the only thing I could kind of equate it to is I had a guest on here before, and he had cardiac arrest. He was a young guy, but he was on a tactical team in the U.S. And he talks about like the near death, actual death experience and what he saw. And what did he say? I think his heart was flatlined for 7 minutes or 15 minutes. Like
oh,
he was actually like dead.
dead.
And, but he still has like these thoughts or images from that time. And, it's someone I'll have to connect you with because he's got quite the story, and he's doing some amazing things as well now for other members, just
Great.
like yourself. So, um, but so you kind of come to, and one of the things you wrote in the information that you kind of sent me ahead of time was when you woke up, your wife was there as well, and she's one of the first people there, and just how that she kind of stuck by your side and was taking care of you, and throughout this whole process. You know, y- you wake up and you feel like I don't have time to cry about this. I'm just getting back to work. We're whatever the problem is, we fix it. I mean, you sound like you know typical law enforcement is like, let's just get it done. Let's just keep moving on. But with your wife there, your family, uh, what was it like for them? Because I imagine it's very hard for them to see you, but also going through all the therapies and whatever else you kind of experienced. Can you talk
Yeah,
a bit about them?
sure. I want to go back a little bit.
Yep.
When you say about the experience of death, I have one of those experiences. I don't see the white light that a lot of people tell about it, and I
Hmm.
don't see the things very fast. For me, it was like a golden lights, and
Hmm.
it was a very slow part of my life with persons, with moments, and with places. I don't know if I was going to another level, another place, but was a peace that I have never experienced again. It was something really calm, really warm. It
Yeah.
was something that I can explain, but
Comforting,
yeah,
maybe the term.
comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I was going to another part of the world or heaven
Okay.
or I don't know, Nathan, but it's something that the experience of what I have seen of other people that talk about it, it was very different for me. And when you tell me how I woke up, as soon as I woke up and I remember who I am in that intensive care room, I look at my legs, and it was a big, really impressive hit for me to know that my legs weren't there anymore.
Yeah.
But I can tell you something. When the car crashed to me and I see my legs, I know in that moment I know that something I was going to lose something.
Yeah. You're not coming back whole. You're not coming out of that hole.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when I wake up and discover my new me, I was impressed, but not in a bad way,
Hmm.
because it was something that I was already prepared. I don't know how to explain it to you, but
Yeah.
it was something that I know that it will happen. I don't know, maybe below the knee, not above the knee, but something is going to
Yeah.
be different in my life. From there, yeah, the support of my wife was something that for me is the most valuable, because sometimes I have the experience with other partners, other police officer friends, and for them, the support was different because some part of the family just abandoned them.
Yeah.
It's very common that happens, and so for me, that my wife was there waiting for me, and support that she always. Actually, I still have support for her. Even that I am already working again, that I am already in my duties. It's something very impressive because I am very lucky to have her in my life. And my recovery, my therapies were maybe so easy because she was with me.
Yeah.
And that is a key part of the process.
Yeah. I was going to say the support structure, right? Like you're
Yeah.
not going through it alone. There are certain experiences, obviously the physical part of it you
Mhm.
go through alone, but the mental part and maybe the spiritual part, all of that it can be shared, not all your burden.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that for her it was tremendous, it was difficult. It was pain for her to look me at I was in that moment. And she's a brave woman, because there is no other word to describe it. And even that we in Mexico don't have good critical traumas, hospitals, or after being wounded, I started making exercise in my home. I go to 2 or 3 special centers here in Mexico. But I see in some videos what you have in Canada or in the States, and the recovery is it will be, or for me, it will be a lot faster, because
Yeah.
the facilities, the person, the experience. Because in the States, they have a lot of amputee
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
persons.
They got more experience and very specific centers that work with those injuries.
Yeah, here in Mexico is was something very new for them, because maybe they have some people with one leg amputee or one arm, but a bilateral
Mhm.
is really difficult. It's not a common thing.
And I imagine for the mental health side, it's very different too, because the type of experience that you went through to end up where you are, you know, dealing with that too. You have to find people who truly understand what's going on, or as much as possible.
Yes, I was before my accident. I have a little bit knowledge about the prostheses, about some kind of things, But after this happens to me, I start making a very deep research
Mm.
of what will be my life after my accident. So
Okay.
I start getting a lot of knowledge, and that knowledge I start telling to the medics here or to the orthopedist, protections, what I need, because it was I don't know, I don't know the exact word, but
Like you're trying to help other people, you mean? Or is it just for you?
I
Like
was trying to help the medics and the
yeah.
protections of what I discovered in the States, in books, because for them,
Yeah.
it was something new.
Okay.
It's not common to have a bilateral amputees in Mexico. So I tried to get all the information, to learn a lot, and then to explain to them.
Yeah. 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 So you're passing it along. You're helping future generations.
Yeah, the process of a bilateral above knee amputee is first to make your core really, can I say, hard, your core
Yeah. Yeah. Just
strong,
strengthen it. Yeah.
strong, yeah. And then you have to use some things the name is stuvies.
Mm.
They are like little legs, so you can regain your gravity, your stabilization,
Yeah.
and you walk with those stuvies that don't have a knee. So you walk like this,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And here in Mexico, that was something that they don't know.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
I started going to web pages of the United States. It was a clinic in Oklahoma, in Duncan, Oklahoma. They are 25 years of experience in bilateral amputees. So I was uh, every day looking new information about them, so I can make a replica here in Mexico what they
Mm.
do over there.
Okay.
And it worked, it worked. It was maybe took me 2 3 years, when maybe to them it's about 6 months to 1 year. But we have a different situation in Mexico and in Canada and the States. And all the knowledge that I get, all the experience, help to recover. And now that happens to other persons, that all the knowledge helps to them. I've been in
Yeah.
contact with around 7 or 8 bilateral amputees, and
In Mexico.
in Mexico, and the process that I tell them to do is working.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did anybody, you said you were doing some research looking into other countries.
Hmm?
Did anybody there, has anybody seen your story, worked on any of the prosthetics or anything, like anything nowadays?
Uh, I have contact with this clinic in Duncan, Oklahoma. They are called Dream Team Prosthetics.
Okay.
That's the name of the clinic. And they tell me that they could help me. But the thing, Nathan, is that due that I don't have insurance, for me it's very difficult to be part of that clinic because I have to pay it by myself, you know?
To you have to go there, or
Yeah.
they send someone to you, or
No, I have to go to the clinic in
you go to
Duncan,
it?
Oklahoma, and
Okay.
get the proper treatment. It is difficult because I have to raise the money to be with them, you know? It's not
Hmm.
too much money for the basic. Or the thing for a bilateral amputee like me is that my prosthesis every 5 years, 4 to 5 years, they end the warranty.
Okay. Yeah.
So we can send it to the company to make them adjustments or change pieces, the normal service, you know? And these kind of prostheses, they are very expensive. For example, to the army guys, to the Marines guys that lose a leg, they they don't have any problem, you know, because the government in the States is different as well what we have here.
Yeah.
Every 5 years they have the top of the top of prostheses. Usually the company that they use is named Ottobock. It's a German,
Okay.
or they're in Austria company, Ottobock. And the new prostheses that a bilateral amputee needs are the Genium X4.
All right.
That's the name. And they every 4 years they have it. But for us in Mexico, we don't have that technology. You know, there are prostheses that maybe each one cost around 150K.
Really?
Yeah,
Holy.
yeah,
I was gonna ask how much it costs, and I was expecting like 30, 40,000, but 150 for one.
for one.
Wow.
Maybe in, you know, there are a lot of foundations. There are no a lot of companies that help people, and maybe they have better prices. But
Mm.
for some like me, a moral person, you know,
Yeah.
the cost is around 120, 150K for each one.
Okay.
And I need two of them. And this thing is every 5 to 5 years. So right
Wow.
now, I don't have a top technology. I have a average, you know,
Hmm.
technology that help me to make a normal life. But I have a lot of trouble with the ramps, with the curves,
Okay.
with the stairs,
Yeah.
because the ones that I need, they have a microchip in it, and they simulate the movement of your knee.
Yeah. Okay.
So we don't have a program here in Mexico that help veterans. That's why we still have to be working, you know, because
Mhm.
we can live with the normal salary that we have. We need to start looking another thing or experience another uh, type of job, you know. And
Yeah.
and from there, the very complicated thing is to get the correct prosthesis that you need.
Okay. Well, I want to ask with the time that we have left, because I want to make sure we also get a chance to say how people can connect with you and stuff. Uh, where are you now with the work that you're doing? You're working with the state. You're also I can see by your shirt you got the Under Armour on, so you're
Oh
an
yeah.
ambassador for them. Like, so what are you doing these days, and how is that? Is anything helping with the prosthetics, or are you gaining any kind of traction on your story, and maybe there's some help there? I wonder if I was going to ask if Under Armour has anything to do with that.
No, you know, Under Armour in Mexico is to be ambassador is a little bit different than in the States. I
Hmm.
follow a guy in the States that he's ambassador, and he have a lot of support
Yeah.
from there. Here is maybe only 3 times a year some clothing
Okay.
that they send to us. But for me, is an honor to be ambassador of a brand like Under Armour.
Hmm.
But it's different. We are we are learning in Mexico what is to be an ambassador, and they, as company, is learning how the states or in Canada Under Armour is with the ambassador that they have.
Yeah.
So we are starting with that process, and they look for me. They are impressed in the way that I walk with these prostheses that I have. So that's basically what Under Armour is doing with me, and I am doing with them. It's We are starting a relationship,
Yeah.
and we are learning together how in Mexico is to be an ambassador.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I kind of wondered, like, maybe they help with the prosthetics, whether it's funding or they send something because it works well with their clothing or equipment or whatever it might be. So there'd be like a connection in there that leads to you getting the right tools, essentially,
okay,
the right
I
equipment.
hope that could happen here with your podcast that is internationally. Maybe we can open new paths or new doors. I hopefully think that maybe we can do something like that. Um, but in Mexico is something new for them. Maybe they don't have the I don't know, the forecast money to make it
Yeah.
or something. So for me, it's basically I don't know. I still work for the government, so I am trying to look if they can support me to get a new prosthesis. But
Hmm.
sometimes it's complicated because there is not a veteran fund
Yeah. Okay.
where they can make that. So
Yeah.
what I start to do is to make TikToks. Start
Yeah.
to make a story of my life and what happened with my accident. I All the videos I take it by myself. Or sometimes my wife. It's not something professional. It's something basic that is working. I already have like 40,000 followers.
That's impressive. That's very good.
Yeah, in 6 months, it's a good amount of people that is making a community. And basically, I start showing what is to be an amputee, and that my my social media is try to make the people not to surrender. They even that you have a bad day or something really terrible happens to you. Basically, you have to keep fighting. You need to keep believing in you,
Yeah.
to have faith in everything that you can touch or think. Have faith, because that is the more important thing, Nathan, that will take you from something terrible to something better.
And that is a big part of what you're doing now. Like, you do a lot of the public speaking. Obviously, TikTok has been a blessing for you. And is that the best place? I always kind of ended on this, and just as we come up to the end of the time, the best place for people to reach out to you, obviously, TikTok. You've got quite a following on there. So is that the best platform?
Yeah, in TikTok they can find me as Roberto Ortiz
Hmm.
and Rebixi, Rebixi. Rebixi in Latin means I am alive again.
Okay.
So it's part of my name and like a branding that I'm starting to make, Rebixi.
Okay.
And they can I don't know, maybe if they have interest in get in touch with me in this part of your community, maybe you can help me to get
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, so when I put up the episode description, obviously I'll have the TikTok accounts. I'll clarify those with you. And if anybody needs to go through me, I'll put them in touch with you gladly.
Thank you.
So, you know, we're just at the end of the time. And I'll have to have you back on because, as we were saying beforehand, there's other things I would love to talk with you about. I think it would be
Yeah.
very interesting. So, um, man, I really am genuinely appreciative that I'm able to share your story. And thank you to our mutual friend for putting us in contact.
Yes.
And, I'm helping him out wherever I can as well. Man, just the things that you experienced and then you're able to be here today and tell this to people is a blessing in its own. But I mean, you got a strong family and you're a strong individual. So, it's, I'm glad we could share that message and I'll help you however I can in the future. So,
It's an honor for me to be here in your podcast, Nathan. And yeah, I really need help from a lot of people, because
mhm.
the situation that we have here is really different. And every help, it will be really appreciated, and I am a guy, I am a loyal guy, I am a really loyal guy. And I think that this love, this world needs love, needs empathy,
Yeah,
We are losing empathy. We are losing a lot of values that are very important.
a lot of divisiveness, everything right now.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
yeah.
So if I can afford something to an amputee or to a guy that thinks that the world is going on him with my
Mhm.
message, with my TikToks, with some conference that I'm going to start to make every time more often to the or maybe other police districts or cities, I will try, because I am here to serve. As I told you in the beginning, it's something that I have it as when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I like to serve. I like to be part of projects. I like to be part of get a better world. And for me, it's an honor to be with you, with all your community, and give this message. Maybe later we have another kind of podcast with what is really to be a police officer in
Yeah.
Mexico, what we face. But the message of the podcast of this one was to make clear of what is to have a disability in Mexico when you are part of a police officer of an army sometimes, and what we face too, and it's painful, it's complicated.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't see the light because we are forgotten. In
Yeah.
so many ways, we're forgotten. We don't have a line to follow that we will solve all our problems. What we need right now, and something that is very important is that is what I am telling to a lot of politicians or chiefs in Mexico is that one person that have a salary but then is disabled is not the same, because every disability is very expensive, so it
Mhm.
changed all your world.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the message is really clear. Every help is appreciated, and what can I say?
Well, I'm glad there are people out there such as yourself working on this, and I'll continue to support from here as much as I can. And we'll hang on the line just for a few seconds after. We'll say bye offline. But I really do appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. It was a pleasure.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening in and following along with the discussions. Be sure to click the follow or subscribe button on your respective listening platform. Also, check out the Quiet Professional on X and Instagram under TQP780. And most importantly, please share where you can. Everyone has a part to play in getting these education and information pieces out there, so pass it along. Thanks again.